Hello and welcome to the Plainland Steam Railway. You guys haven't really gotten a proper look at this layout yet, but I thought since it's been a while and my collection has grown exponentially, I would do another locomotive collection, specifically the British locomotive. And I counted before starting this video, and I have a little over 20 locomotives in my fleet now, which is significantly more than the last video I made. Probably more than double, I believe. So, that being said, let's get right into it, and we're going to start with some LMS engines. So let's start with one of the newer ones that we've gotten. Now, I should say new to me, and that is an old, I believe it's like Stewart Hobbies or something. Either that or it was an Airfix one. LMS 4F. Now this is a tender drive engine, as you can see, and it doesn't run super great. It does have DCC sound. So, yeah, I think just a good spot of oil, this will do it. But overall, for its age, it's a pretty good looking engine. It's an LMS black, as you can see, outlined. And I do really like this thing. I've only had it for a fairly recent amount of time. I got it in a big lot of models for a very good price. So, yeah, that is the first engine. And with that done, let's put you... Here we'll have all our engines come over in the station area. We'll do a big show of them at the end. So, there we go. Next up on the list, we have the Fowler, I believe it is 4P tank engine. Doesn't run very well. I've had this loco for a while now. I do really like it. Again, it's another older model. I think it's one that really does stand up pretty well for today's standards. So hopefully a spot of oil and this thing will run like a charm. Hopefully, because I do want to run this thing because it's a great looker. But yeah, so the old LMS Fowler 4P from Hornby. It's just run on analog, but it's a great model. So, yep. Let's put him over here in the dockyard. The harbor area. I'll do a layout tour. It's probably coming up. Oh, whoopsie. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. So next up, we're going to stick with the LMS theme and go to another one that was in that large lot, and that is the Hornby, I believe it is Hornby Railroad Genty. This has DCC fitted. I don't believe it has sound, but it's another recent arrival. It runs decently well on DC, and I know it's not super detailed, but it's, I enjoy it. I think it's detailed well enough. It passes as a modern engine, I would say. I feel like the dead giveaway is the chassis, which a ton of Hornby engines use that same chassis. It has been lightly weathered by a previous owner. But yeah, LMS Genty BR Black with the late crest, number 47646. Which is actually kind of funny. It's only one digit from, I believe it is Donald's original number, 57646. This is 47646. So yeah, cool little nod there. I mean, not intentional, obviously, but very cool. Anyway. So next up, we're going to stick with the LMS theme until we've, gone through all of them. And next up, we have another new addition, and that is the Hornby, don't mind that, Princess, which is a very, very ubiquitous model. Runs on DCC. No sound, sadly, as far as I'm aware, but good nonetheless. In BR Blue, which similar if you've seen any of Unlucky Tug's layout videos, or not layout, but collection videos, he loves engines in this livery, and I have to agree. I think it is a wonderful livery for an engine to wear. I just love the way it looks. It's very different to all my other locomotives. Yeah. Hornby Princess. This is, I believe, a newer model of them. Still the tender drive, as you can tell. But overall, it's one of the newer tender drive ones. Very nice. I think it is decent, surprisingly good looker. I mean, things like cab aren't super detailed, but I mean, that's alright. It still looks very imposing on the layout. We'll just move this over here into the station, and we will get on with it. Okay, so that's all the LMS engines. So, oh, no, I lied. There's one more. And that is, if I can get it to sit on the rails without off, is this. The Hornby Duchess. This one is specifically Duchess of Sutherland in LMS Maroon. Reminds me, the Princess was Lady Patricia. But yeah, this is another good model. Doesn't run super well. Another older tender drive engine, which isn't great, but a lot of molded details. But overall, a pretty good looker. I enjoy running this thing. It does need some oil to run well, though, which I need to do. But it's good look. Goes great with the Princess, I feel, as a good duo. So, yeah, next. So that is all, for real this time, all of my LMS representation. So we'll just have these two in the station. And next up, we will start on the long list, well, somewhat long, of GWR engines. And let's start with this, the old, quite old, to be honest at this point, Airfix Great Western Prairie. This one also came in that big lot, so did the Princess. And it doesn't really run, which is a shame, but it doesn't look the best. It's one of the weakest in my collection, I would say. But overall, I mean, I'm glad to have a large Prairie. They are one of my favorite classes of engine. Just love those big Great Western tank engines. Any Great Western tank engine, really. But, yeah, so the old Airfix Prairie, which, again, not the most detailed or anything, but it's a large Prairie, you can tell. So, guess I did something right. All right, now that that is in place, next up we have the Hornby Great Western County class. Again, it runs well. Only thing is, the wheels tend to slide along a lot. The motor and everything is good. I just need to figure out how to add some weight to this thing. But I'm sure when I said county, you were picturing the 460. Well, this is the original counties, which were 440s, of course. This is number 3821, County of Bedford in Great Western Green. Again, another one of the older models in my fleet, which find a common theme. Just a lot of them are going to be older locos, but another tender drive one, as you can tell. But overall, I do really like this thing. I think it looks good for what it is. And for the price I got it for, I only paid about like $30 for it. So I'll take that, honestly, for any engine. We'll move that out of the way. And get on with the next engine in our fleet, which we'll do both of them at the same time. Because they are both technically the same engine. That are these, the Great Western. I want to believe they are 2700 class. This one is DCC fitted and came in a recent lot I got. Same lot that, oh geez, this thing is falling over all over the place. I promise I take good care of my models. This is the older release, which I got a while back for about $10. They both run. This one doesn't run as well. It's very noisy. This one, being newer, runs quite nicely. That one is number 2761 in a later GWR livery. And this one has Great Western spelled out and is 2744. So this one is a much better model, much more detailed. Still on the basic side of things. But, I mean, compared to this thing, it's night and day. Honestly, but I do want to get some basic panniers that aren't like these weird Hornby train set ones. Which I don't know why they decided to do these and not just a regular pannier 5700, as pretty much any Great Western layout needs one. Which mine, of course, is an ex-Great Western layout, being a heritage railway, but I mean, I'll take the panniers I can get, and these both were very inexpensive. So, yeah. Sorry if you saw, I keep spoiling the collection a bit. But next up, we're rounding out just a few more Great Western locos to go. We have this, the Bachmann 5600 class, specifically number 5667 in GWR green. Another decently good runner. It does cut out occasionally, but it looks very good. This is actually the old mainline tooling. It does have sprung buffers, which I think is the first for all the engines I've shown. I believe. I don't think any of the Genteq might have. Let's find out. Nope. So this is the first of my engines with sprung buffers. It just runs on analog. I got it, actually. Oh, where's that? We'll get that off of there. I got it to replace one of my old IVAT 2MT from Bachmann, which isn't going to be in this video because it is sadly beyond repair, and the chassis just fully snapped on it while it was going over this bend. Actually, I don't know why. It should have been fine, but it's what happened. So it's not a problem, but I did buy this specifically. It's a similar size, and this was one of the earliest engines in my fleet. So yeah, a bit of a shame of how it came to be, but overall, I'm very happy with it. So next up on the GWR list, we have the last one in Great Western green. The next one will be in a BR livery. And that is this, the Bachmann Hall class, which is one of, if not, or one of my favorite models I own in original Great Western green, number 4936, Kinlet Hall. I run this thing probably more than most of my other locos, and it has pretty much never let me down. It does also have sprung buffers, which is more normal going forward in the locos, we'll see. It is one of my bigger tender engines, which is great. I love I just love the overall shape and design of the hull. It is one of my favorite Great Western engines. Though really, I love pretty much every Great Western engine. So yeah, that is the Hall class, Kinlet Hall, on which does also run on analog. But so let's get right on to the next engine. And don't worry, I don't slide them around like that a lot. I just needed to get it out of shot. So let's go with our last Great Western locomotive, and that is this. As of right now, magnum opus of the fleet. This is my favorite engine. I run it all the time. Yeah, it is the Hornby 4200 class. Number 4257 in late BR black. I got this engine purely because this is my favorite class of steam engine. I know the model isn't the greatest model out there. I think it definitely deserves to get a newly tooled engine. It is quite light compared to some of my other engines, but I love this thing. It's probably one of the most expensive models in my collection just on how much I spent on it, but it's worth every penny. I love this thing all the time, or I run this thing all the time, and it has never given me any faults. It pulls whatever I put behind it. So yeah, that is that. Livery is kind of basic, but I don't care, to be honest. I wanted a BR1 just because I really like the look of Great Western engines and BR liveries. So yeah, let's go on. And before we get to the mainline diesel category, which do make up a large part of the collection now, we're gonna go with our industrials. And to start off, we have this thing. The Hornby train set engine that I don't really run super often. I mainly bought the set for the track. It's the Coca-Cola one. It might not be, but it feels grossly out of scale with everything else around it. So I don't run this thing. I might use it as a chassis donor for something. I don't know. But I have it, so it's on the list. So yeah, let's get going to the next engine on here, and that is the last industrial engine in my collection, and that is this. The Accurascale / Hatton's Andrew Barclay tank, which the history behind this thing is very, very convoluted. If you'll remember from my old video, doing my collection when it was much smaller, I said I had this thing on order, which was true. And basically it came, and I pull it out of the box, and this whole back section of the cab is bent, and it doesn't run. I was able to fix the not running part, which was a common problem on these when they came out. It was the motor got dislodged slightly from its housing. I was able to fix that, wasn't able to fix the bent cab, and then Accurascale said they would take it back and either replace it or fix it and send me back. So I don't even know if this is the original one I had or not, but it's the one I have now. I do like this thing a lot. I run it a decent amount just because I really like Accurascale, and this is kind of my, farewell to Hatton's kind of model, because I ordered it originally on Hatton's before they went bust. And then, of course, we all know the story about them going bust. So here it is now in Accurascale. And despite being the smallest engine in my collection, it came in the biggest box by far. And I do have another engine on Accurascale, which I'll go over at the end of the video. But for right now, that's the Andrew Barclay. I got it in lined navy blue livery. It's a very smart looking engine. I do like it a lot. So yeah, I might give it a nameplate at some point, as it's a generic engine. But now, probably the biggest, maybe not biggest, I'm not sure, but one of the biggest sections in the video, second biggest to my Great Western fleet probably, and that is my BR diesel fleet. To start out, we have the first diesel I ever had, which was this, the Deltic DP1, which is DCC sound fitted, but problem I have with this is it doesn't run. It has never run. I've had it. I've even tried it on DCC. I know you're not really supposed to do it on analog. I've tried both. And it just doesn't. It doesn't want to go. Excuse me. It looks great. I love looking at it. It's the Bachmann model. But yeah, it just doesn't run like at all. So if anybody has any ideas on why that is, like I can hear like when I put power to it, the lights come on, I can hear the engine going, but it just won't go anywhere. If anybody has any ideas, please do leave those in the comments. But now that that is done, it's time to move on to our next locomotive, and we'll stick with the theme of British Rail prototypes because the next thing on the list is the Class... Okay, come on. The Class 53 in its original as-built condition. I got this in the same lot I've been talking about throughout the video. It is DCC sound fitted, lights with running lights, and it's DCC sound, I even think, and it is great. I do love it. I don't run it as much just because of it's not very prototypical for a Heritage Railway, especially because the one and only Class 53, as this is, was scrapped. So I could say it was a new build, converted from a 47 or whatever, which I might work that into the lore of my model railway, but I mean, for right now, it serves. So yeah, we'll put that just over there with a DP1, and we'll shift our focus slightly. Next up, we have a regular BR diesel, and that is this. The Hornby Railroad, no, Bachmann Deltic. This is Queen's own Highlander, number D9004, in BR green with the yellow ends. And I quite like this thing. It's very big and beefy. I haven't run it a ton. It is DCC sound fitted with cab lights and directional lighting and all the fun jazz. But I probably will run this thing more. It's just I haven't really had it for too long, so it hasn't gotten run a whole lot. Let's move this over here. Now, you can see the whole, pretty much whole collection so far. Put that on the rails. There we go. Just couple it to the pannier tank right there. Next up on the list, we have this, the Helgen, however you want to pronounce it, Class 26 in BR green with color matched ends and white accents. I do really like this thing. It's probably the diesel I tend to run the most out of all of them. It looks brilliant. It runs great. DCC sound fitted. Directional lighting. All the 9 yards. I mean, this thing is just great. I know it's not super prototypical to Wales, which is where my railway is set, if you didn't know. It might be. I don't think they ever really ran in Wales on a regular basis. I know they are mainly based in Scotland. This does have sprung buffers, so do most of the engines I've shown in the diesel category. But I just really like the look of it. It was, again, in that lot, so I paid a fraction of the price of this thing. It does have a driver fitted in the cab. It looks great, runs great, sounds great. No complaints. I know Helgen gets a bad rap sometimes, but I think this is one of their golden examples of a model. I think they do their diesels better, but I know even that, I want to say it was their Class 17 got a pretty bad rap, so, yeah. Can be hit or miss with Helgen, but they've hit both times. Oh, that reminds me. The 53 is my other Helgen locomotive, which also runs great. So maybe the Helgen hate is a little unwarranted. I know things like their 47 aren't great, but anyway, before I get on a huge side tangent, and this video is like 2 hours long, let's get on with it. So next up, we have another Scottish resident, the Lord Provost number 47709 from Lima, I want to say, in ScotRail livery. This was the first working diesel I ever had, and I ran it for a while. Again, not super prototypical to where my layout is set, but it is a heritage railway, so you can kind of run whatever you want and get away with it, you know, rule one. It's not the most detailed thing, but I think it does serve the purpose. You can tell it's a Class 47, and it's really cool to pair it up with a 53, which is kind of, you know. But yeah, this thing, I love this thing to bits. It runs still pretty great. It's a little noisy, but other than that, it runs well. So without further ado, we've got two more on the agenda. I know this is getting kind of a long video. It might even be the longest video I've ever done. But next up we have the Hornby Railroad with DCC Sound, the Class 37 in Rail Fake Gray, specifically number 37040. I haven't run this thing too great. It's not the most powerful thing in the world that I own. I mean, everybody loves 37s. I do too. I think they're great. Yeah, this thing, not too much to say about it, honestly. It does have working lights. It runs pretty well. It does have sound, I believe. Or that still works. This was again in that, I know I'm beating a dead horse, but this was again in the lot that I got. It's pretty well detailed. Not the most detailed thing you'll ever see, just because it is a railroad engine, but it's Class 37, so what more can I say? So let's get on to the final, and one of my favorite, frankly, locomotives in the collection, and that is, drum roll please, let's just roll it over here. No, or not, because it doesn't want this. The Hornby Railroad, I believe, yep. Hornby Railroad Class 40, and specifically BR green with the yellow panels. Number D232. I want to say it's Empress of Canada. Yeah, very small nameplate, which is hard to read. But I love this thing. I know the Class 40s weren't great engines in real life. I know this thing isn't the most detailed model in the world. But I just love a Class 40. I think they're such imposing engines. I mean, even next to the Deltic, they look big. And they are quite literally, if my camera will focus. Well, there we go. It is quite literally one of my, like, top 2 favorite diesels, just behind this bad boy over here. But maybe it's because I grew up on Thomas, and of course there is a Class 40 in a very similar livery, although I believe the one in the show has full yellow ends instead of this panel like this. But it's just great looking, isn't it? It's like I always think of them as Class 30, or I knew the 40s before I knew the 37s, so I always just thought the 37s were like baby 40s, but really, it's how popular 37s are, and I'm not sure which one were built first, but I would say this is like a mega 37, if that analogy even makes sense. But yeah, this is one of the greatest diesels I own. Runs great, sounds great, looks great, all the things. DCC fitted. Again, most of the engine came from that lot. I know I said that a million times, but yeah, that is finally all the engines. And if I just do a quick count to remind myself, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 6. Oh no, I already got. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 models in the collection as it stands right now. And that isn't including my American locos and my Bachmann Thomas, which I have, which has seen better days. Dog got a hold of it one time and like chewed its face halfway off. So, but yeah, that is the full collection of British locomotives. I do really love these. You know, I will do a layout tour soon. Oh, that reminds me, I should talk about the engine I have on order right now, which won't be joining the fleet for a while, but it's here. Or it's not here, but it's a part of the family, or it will be. And that is and I'll put a picture up on screen, the Accurascale Hunslet Austerity tank engine, specifically the Accurascale exclusive model of Wilbert, or Reverend Wilbert Aubrey, which has already sold out. It's been sold out for months. I put in a pre-order for one right when they announced them, because if you don't know, all sales will go towards, or at least like half, or I'm not sure exact number, but the money made from it, or at least part of it, will be going to restoring the real Wilbert to cosmetic condition, static display. Sorry about that. My for whatever reason, camera cut off. So, as I was saying, is in quite a sorry state right now. On the Dean Forest Railway, it's just, not been able to they haven't had the money to give it the love it so deserves. So, as a fan of the Railway series, and a fan of Accurascale, and a fan of the real engine, and I was wanting to get one anyway. So I thought, what better engine to get than Wilbert? And when that comes, that will be the engine to end all engines. That will be the greatest engine I have and probably will ever have, unless I get like a Hornby 00 Flying Scotsman. So yeah, without further ado, that's all I've got. Those are my engines, models. We'll do one quick more overview of all the models I have. They're everywhere. It's going to take me forever to put it back. But yeah, those are all of them. And stay tuned. I'm going to try to upload on more of a regular basis. It might not be. It kind of depends. But my next video is going to try and be some AU lore facts. I'm kind of late on the bandwagon of people such as Fireporter and Edward's Day Out, but inspired by those videos, actually, I decided, well, why don't I put my own 2 feet in the ring? And so yeah, that video will be coming out at some point. I need to work on it, but that's all for me today. So hope you all have a great day, and goodbye.